we enter the final decade of 100 Years of Horror with A Horrible Way to Die. Come to think of it, most ways of dying are pretty horrible. James Dean, horrible way to die. Sharon Tate, horrible way to die. David Carradine? But enough of this beating off a dead horse with a rope around its neck. The 2010 film does indeed live up to its name. It is a serial killer story from director Adam Wingard and writer Simon Barrett, the team who brought us some of the nicest surprises of the decade. Your Next, VHS, VHS 2, The Guest, and more. A Horrible Way to Die begins with a troubled man parked out in the middle of nowhere. He's already seeming a bit suspect. He doesn't quite look like a man from the 1970s, but he does look like an actor styled to look like a character in a 70s sex drama. Anyway, he builds up the courage to open the boot of his car and reveal a bound victim is stowed within. He apologizes for the delay, genuinely, before strangling her to death. The first of many horrible deaths. The rest of the plot plays out across multiple chronologies. There are two main stories that run parallel. Flashbacks to this serial killer's original killing sprees, while showing glimpses of the relationship he managed to maintain with alcoholic girlfriend Sarah. Secondly, there's also the present-day scenarios of Sarah attempting to achieve sobriety and a new romantic relationship while the killer escapes prison and heads her way. The script by Simon Barrett is the MVP here. At first glance, the plot synopsis is thrilling enough, but also seems a little been there, done that, even if the time jumping is a nice extra touch. No David Carradine, not that kind of touch.
Come.
But as the film goes on, you realise there is something deeper being constructed. The present day scenes are steeped in dread, both in terms of the new disturbing trail of bodies being littered about, and with the more everyday stakes, as we root for Sarah to overcome her past demons. Oh God, please let her find a happy life now, with this new man. Meanwhile, the flashbacks offer a surprising depth to Sarah, but also to the serial killer, with a name fit for the Star Wars universe, Garrick Terrell. Garrick is neither your dime-a-dozen bland, emotionless killing machine, nor is he your sick pleasure-deriving maniac. He is a complicated and haunted individual who actually garners some level of empathy from me. This all culminates in a third act that knocks it out of the park in a subversive manner, and feels much more like the Wingard and Barrett style we have come to love. Their dark sense of humour does pop up from time to time, but it is restrained in comparison to some of their later work. It doesn't undercut any of the mounting drama, but also sets it slightly apart from some comparable films. Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, etc., etc. A Horrible Way to Die's main criticism stems from the direction. The entire production is shot handheld, forever moving about. It's like Shakin' Stevens developed Parkinson's, then picked up a camera. We know that this style can boost the intensity of action and horror scenes, but the style persists through even the most mundane of events. The movements and documentary zooms during a boring, typical subdued AA meeting had me expecting the Tim reaction shot after every line of dialogue. For the Americans watching, translated, that would be the Jim reaction shot. I did find the camera work off-putting initially, but, to be honest, I climatized pretty quickly. The documentary-esque tics and tricks give everything a footing in reality. More so, while the film is jumping back and forth in time, and switching between which characters are being focused on, the handheld style creates some seamless transitions. It manages to form a fluidity, where more traditional techniques could have felt very stop-start, stop-start, stop-start. So, looking for a horror film that doubles as a date movie? Well, A Horrible Way to Die would not be a horrible film to watch.